Hello everyone, my name is Udine Amdi and this is my final blog post for the book Mastery by Robert Greene. Now, when I'm always asked what did I learn from a reading, oftentimes I find that sometimes it feels like you didn't learn anything. What I mean by that is, despite the fact that I'm constantly taking notes when I read, that's the way I process information. Sometimes I feel like if I don't go back and reread these notes, and it's just going to go in one ear and out the other, even though I feel like I'm learning in the process. However, with these two books, I found myself saying things in the internal monologue, I guess, that was referenced by both books in my head when presented with certain situations, and I know I wouldn't ordinarily find myself saying if I hadn't read these books. For instance, in The Untethered Soul, there's a difficult chapter that regards pain and painful experiences and allowing them to pass through you and viewing them from the perspective as you just being a conscious observer in the back of your head, that these things aren't happening to you, they're happening to your body essentially, and you are the conscious observer that is looking at these things happen to you. And that concept to me was earth-shattering, and I definitely think about it when I'm going through something, whether minor, major, whether it's problems with parents or problems in school, whatever it is. Now, when I'm encountered with certain problems, I always hear that kind of in the back of my mind, and it's very, very comforting. Even if at times, even when I do hear that, I'm still find myself getting upset rather than letting it pass through me, like the author of The Untethered Soul suggests. In terms of mastery, I loved the book Mastery. I found every single chapter, almost every single sentence, extremely relevant and applicable to the stage of my life that I'm in now, whether it be how to cultivate a proper mentor-protege relationship. You better believe I'm going to be rereading that chapter when I go back to AU. Also, how to grow in the apprenticeship phase, how to acquire an ideal apprenticeship and how to maintain an ideal apprenticeship, how to keep that creative spark going and employ creative strategies in order to have a dimensional mind. All of these, fantastic. I loved the book Mastery and I learned so much from it. In terms of things that I've done in my life already with Mastery, I've sat down, I did 2 internships this summer, and I've sat down and thought to myself, how can I relate these two to each other? How can I make associations? And then how can I make associations between these two things and what I feel is my creative task, at least currently, which is the field of international law, international criminal law, international human rights law, whatever you would like to call it, or whichever specific field within international law. However, with Mastery, I feel like I'm going to employ a lot of the techniques and strategies when I return back to American University. That's not to say that some of the things can't be used now. I just feel like they're going to be very, very useful when I go back to campus in a few days. Would I recommend the books to others? Yes, and I've already recommended the books to others. There's several people that when I go back on campus, I'm like, you're reading these books as soon as I get them to you. Like, you have to read this. Sometimes I'll read a passage and I'll write somebody's name next to it because I think, oh, this person talked to me about this recently. They're going to benefit from reading this. So definitely would recommend Mastery. I would recommend Mastery to any college student. I would give this to a freshman immediately. And Untethered Soul, I would just recommend to anyone. It's just a general book. The information, like I said, about just altering your perspective on reality and seeing yourself as a conscious observer is a very unique thing, and it enables you to cope with situations in a different and unique way. Alright, so thank you. Hope you enjoyed the blog post. Definitely go out and check out the 2 books. Alright, have a nice day.